सब पीछे पीछे चलो चलो एक गाड़ी प्लीज
अंदर मिलेगा
चलो आतमध्ये भेटेल चला पुढे इकडे चालले तुम्ही काय चलो चलो दादा आगे मिलेगा नीचे रखो ना जा रहे हैं प्लीज चलो दादा चलो साइड में आराम से चलो साइड प्लीज एक मिनट भाई एक जगह खड़े रहे ऋतिक सर राइट अरे फ्लैग ब्लॉक हो रहा है भैया ऋतिक सर राइट में सारा वक्त तो निकाल राइट सामने ऋतिक सर राइट प्लीज
Who are these heroes? 1 in 10 young people today world over are affected by mental health conditions and go through symptoms in silence. Intelligent, hardworking, educated and sensitive from families like you and me who struggle to overcome mental health concerns on a daily basis. This may manifest with symptoms such as regular worrying, insecurities, nervousness, anxieties, which do not allow you to function at school or at work, or feeling low, down and miserable for no rational reason whatsoever, or getting out of bed each morning becomes difficult, or repetitive, intrusive and obsessive dark thoughts that cannot stop in one's mind, or feeling the need to consume alcohol or drugs in order to be confident and socially accepted amongst friends. Owing to high expectations of a fast-paced life, stress at work or family conflict, we all in some measure go through emotional and psychological upheaval. WHO tells us that suicide is the third leading cause of death amongst young people today worldwide, with 1 death every 40 seconds and 1 attempt every 3 seconds. There is such a dearth of awareness and knowledge regarding these hidden symptoms that most of us don't even realize that these are actual medical and clinical neurochemical imbalances in the brain which need to be treated like any other medical condition. These symptoms are not just a phase that will go away with time. Every mental health condition does not necessarily need treatment through medications, and every psychological setback does not mean weakness of character or the mind. With this awareness, understanding and early identification comes prevention, which is the first step towards effective treatment and recovery. This prevention will lead to millions of individuals to live more productive and meaningful lives. This awareness and prevention should stamp out and negate any stigma, discrimination, or shame that allows these everyday heroes to come forth and share their stories so that others may listen, accept, learn, and realize that they are not alone in this. There are mental health professionals out there too to provide them with guidance, treatment, and a way forward. A path to achieve mindfulness, learning to live in the present moment, and bringing back meaning and purpose to their young lives with dignity and respect. I would now like to introduce to you today one of our everyday heroes. His name is Varun Gwalani, who I've had the pleasure of knowing and guiding for a couple of years. Varun has struggled with his symptoms for years with unanswered questions, no diagnosis provided, and no treatment or intervention initiated. he found himself in a very dark space in his own mind for years on end. Despite all of this, he is a young and successful author of 2 beautifully written novels, Believe and The First Storyteller. His books are based on his struggles with obsessive-compulsive disorder and hidden meanings of life. What I admire most about Varun is the insight that he has into his own condition and the open-mindedness to address it and empower other individuals to spread awareness, eradicate the stigmas associated with mental health conditions, and instill hope to all around. I would like to invite Varun now upon stage to share his beautiful story. Thank you.
It was 1 year and 8 months ago when it occurred to me that I might actually die. And that's not some sort of, nihilistic existential death. That's an actual real death that I believed would happen. I did not think that I would live to see 2016, but I was determined that I would not give up because, like Dr. Marcus said, I had no diagnosis. I had no idea what exactly was happening to me. But I had OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and my kind of OCD made me imagine violence and death constantly. I imagined my closest friends, family being subjected to the kind of violence and death that you only see in movies. I would step out of bed and see someone dying 10 times, and I had to experience the thought. I couldn't push it away because doing so would mean that it would actually happen. That was the lies that my mind told me. That was the lie that I had to believe from my own mind day in and day out, every single day for 7 straight years. But I still did not give up hope. I still wrote. I still tried to fight. And when I finally found out that I had OCD, I laughed. I laughed for 10 straight minutes because finally this thing that I had in my mind, finally this thing that was causing me so much struggle, finally had a name. It was curable. It was beatable. And that is the same kind of revelation that I want everybody else with this condition to have. Because with a pill this small that I have every single night, and therapy that I go through every month, I am here living, talking to you all. That in itself to me is a miracle. That is nothing short of a miracle that I can actually survive. I who could barely get out of bed in the morning. And so I swore on this book that I hold in my hand. I swore that I would do whatever it took, whatever it takes, based on this book, based on the ideas that I put forth in this book, to go out into the world and show people that their lives don't have to be over. Their lives are not over. And that is the ultimate struggle. Because I was at an event just like this just a month ago, and a 30-year-old man came and cried into my shoulder 2 minutes after meeting him, because he had never heard anyone tell him openly that the things that he was going through were sane. They had a reason. He just wanted someone, anyone to tell him that he wasn't alone in the world. And I think that's why ultimately we need to speak up. Because there are millions and millions of people in India who are without care, who lack access to a basic healthcare infrastructure, who need to be reminded, who need to be told that they are not alone in the world. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome here. First of all, let me thank you all so much for coming on a busy Monday evening to be with us as we launch our campaign, #EverydayHeroes. We started Mpower earlier this year in May to work towards empowering individuals with mental health concerns, especially children, youth and young adults, in the most holistic way possible. Varun's story is so inspiring and so telling. I really thank him for coming forward and sharing his story with us. The situation, as his experience shows, is really complex. We are not only dealing with a dearth and help of services, there is also a lack of awareness and understanding of mental health concerns. And as long as there is stigma, it will be that much harder for people to reach out and seek help. With Mpower, we are making an attempt to address these different parts of the concern. At the Mpower Center, we offer counseling and forms of therapy for young people and their families. In designing the center, we recognized that we had to break a paradigm around mental health services. We wanted to create a positive and a cheerful environment where people feel positive and encouraged to take the first step towards mental wellness. We've got an excellent team on board who's driven by tremendous passion and belief in what we're trying to achieve. Having said that, providing services is not enough. We need to reach out and help people talk and also talk to them. And so we're launching the Everyday Heroes campaign with my dear friend Hrithik. The start of this wonderful journey is a short film that Hrithik recorded to share an important message, which we will be screening later on this evening. With the Everyday Heroes campaign, we want to encourage and celebrate people like Varun, who overcome challenges, seek help, speak up, and who are an inspiration to others. We want to get people who are suffering and their families and friends to join this dialogue, and we want to give them a platform to do so. We are also launching a school and college outreach program to take the message to our children and young people. We are building a school mental health program that provides schools the capabilities and resources that they need to address concerns. We are also lining up events like music concerts to directly engage children and youth. To provide children and young people a platform, we are launching a weekly Facebook Live session where our therapists and professionals are available for a conversation and to address any questions people may have about problems they are facing or any mental health related concern they would like more information on. Hrithik will tell you a little bit more about the launch in just a minute. At the same time, we are also launching an Empower Everyday Heroes blog where anyone can write in to share their story, to inspire others who may be struggling similarly and who would find strength in knowing that they're not alone. The worst illness is loneliness, and the only cure is love. We want to stamp out stigma, and we're happy to have Hrithik here rallying us together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Birla. And now I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome somebody on stage I'm sure needs no introduction. He's a superstar, he's an actor par excellence, and the heartthrob of millions. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, if you will, please join me in welcoming none other than Hrithik Roshan.
Thank you. Hello everyone, thank you. Well, I had come here prepared with a few words of my own, but Varun, after I heard what you just said, I'm so amazed, and I really want to applaud you for battling through your experiences and being able to overcome and now be on a platform where you can inspire. Your words touched me. I actually felt, I could feel what you must have gone through. And if I could be touched, if I could somewhere, in some way, identify with what you went through, I am very, very sure that there are millions others just like you, me, who do not know that they might be suffering from something that is clinical, which is not their fault, and they can speak about it. They can reach out. It is not something to be awkward about. It's not something to feel less about. It is a problem, I would say, I would give you, each one of us, first of all, we are not talking about other people here. We are talking about me. We are talking about you. We are talking about us. Each one of us, at some point in our lives, is going to go through a knee problem, elbow problem, back problem, neck problem. These are problems we are unafraid and unapologetic to talk about. But we are also going to go through, at some point in our lives, deep anxiety, depression, chaos, confusion, addictive behavior. And though we know we are going to go through this, we are going to not allow ourselves to talk about the problems that deal with this part of our body, the brain. Why? Because we have been conditioned since birth that it is something to feel embarrassed about. And that is what we need to stamp out. We need to stamp out that stigma. We need to set ourselves free. We need to educate people. My congratulations to Neerja and her daughter Ananya for this incredibly noble initiative. Thank you, and it could not have been more timely, because I genuinely feel that mental health is a factor that is going to have an enormous influence on our future. As a society, I think we are going into like a danger zone, if I may say, where mental health is concerned. I have chosen to be associated with this cause because I have seen this problem from very close quarters. I have an understanding of the jubilation when you understand that it's not your fault, and the fact that it can be cured. And when I say cure, when I'm saying this, I'm not really talking about a big illness. It could be really small. It could be, you could be depressed for no reason. You can't understand what the reason is. And you need to talk about it. So thank you for making me a part of this. The greatest challenge that the experts and the doctors have in this field is of creating awareness, is of stamping out that stigma, which is why I have chosen to be associated with this, because if my presence can help take this message to a few more people, I will be very, very happy. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and we have a little film that I shot, which I think we can play now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have an exclusive first viewing of the photo opportunity. If you could please step aside for a moment, we'll just put the chairs since we're going to be starting the Q&A. And members of the media, we are opening the session for Q&A. We have mics in the audience. Request you to please ask your questions. Okay, members of the media, we have mics in the audience. They're just getting prepared. Another few seconds and we're going to get the mics prepared for the Q&A.
Hi, good evening all. My question is that how Mpower is different from other providers.
Sorry, can I see the person? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
How Mpower is different from other providers.
Actually, firstly, Empower is the only provider of its kind in this space. We're dealing with creating awareness, so we're dealing with advocacy, and we're also providing services, psychiatric as well as counseling services. So we're trying to deal with mental health concerns from all sides, from creating awareness as well as providing services for it. And I would believe that we are the only kind of one of its kind in the country who's doing that.
Okay, and
Add a quick point to that. Especially for a cause like Empower, I think it does. We personally want to provide the best service that we can. It's not about being different. It's coming together as a nation, and we want to provide the best services that we can provide. So our focus is to be the best providers and provide the best that we can. But we would love for other people to come up and do things like we do as well, because it's a collective effort. So more than being different, I would say that we personally are trying to provide the best that we can provide. And I think that's how we think as a team as well.
Yeah, well said.
Hrithik, hello, Hrithik. Yes. Hrithik, my question is to Hrithik. Hrithik, what prompted you to take up this decision for this noble cause associated for this?
Yeah, because I think this is something that has been on my mind for quite a few years. I always questioned this stigma. I have seen my friends suffer in silence, and it bothered me. It bothered me to a level where I started asking questions and stumbled across some very good questions in that search about why, when we are suffering from a stomach problem or a kidney problem, are we so cool about it and casual about it? And why, when we have a problem that has to do with the brain, which is also an organ just like our kidney and our lungs, but when the brain has a problem, we get scared. We feel as if it is our fault, as if it is something that we have to, hide from other people. When everybody at some point in their lives is going to go through some level of a mental issue. So, through my journey, I already was living with these questions, and I wanted to do something about it. When Neerja approached me, I was, very, very happy, in fact, that I was getting an opportunity to do something about this. So that's why.
Just a minute. Sir, I am Suresh Mehta from Bollywood Web TV USA, और इसे अब जो ये इवेंट चल रहा है, ये ऑन द स्पॉट आपका यूएसए चले जाएगा और उसे 50 लाख लोग इसे देखेंगे इस इवेंट के बारे में. तो इस इवेंट के बारे में आप कुछ मैसेज दीजिए. क्या इवेंट, ये किस बारे में इवेंट है और क्या मैसेज आपका इस इवेंट के बारे में?
अभी तक जो हमने कहा वो आपने रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया.
Can we have the next question, please?
Hi Hrithik, I am Sunil from Movie Talkies. I would like to ask you, when there is a personal problem or some kind of depression you are going through, how do you come out positive with it?
How do you
come out positive with it? How do you come out strongly from it?
Well, that's exactly why we are here. Is that Neerja, Ananya, Mark, is it? Mark. We are creating that platform so it becomes easier for people to come out and talk about this, get help. If in case it is a clinical disorder, then it can be treated, you know. So, does that answer your question?
How do you manage to come out of it?
The same way. I have experienced issues in my own personal life. We all go through ups and downs. It's important. The ups are important. The downs are important because we evolve through both of them. And when you go through a down, then you have to. The most important thing is clarity of thought. You know, to have your thoughts clear, sometimes your brain takes over, and you know, it kind of feeds you with unwanted thoughts, feeds you with thoughts which are not aligned with what you want to do in your life. And that's the time when you need an objective point of view. You know, you need a third person, a second person, to look at you and say that this is what is happening to you, because you lose awareness at that time. So, which is why, you know, it's very, very important to have a platform, to have an outlet. Yeah.
I think to add to what Hrithik just said, I think the key point what he is saying, which is what we're also trying to do, is seek help. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to encourage people to seek help, because like he said, the only way to come out of the situation is by seeking help and going out there and then doing what it takes to make a difference in your own life.
I just want to add one more thing, is that, you know, being vulnerable is what makes us humane. Being a human being is being vulnerable. So do not feel afraid. Do not feel that you are weak, or that it makes you a lesser or a weaker person than the other person standing next to you. It's our vulnerabilities which make us humane. Thank you.
Please pass the mic there. Thank you.
Hrithik, hi. Hrithik.
Sorry guys, that was my son. I always take his call.
Hi
no matter
Hrithik.
what, so sorry
Deepak from Zee 24 Ghanta.
Yeah. What's the joke? I didn't hear what?
Okay. Hi, this is you. Okay. In your career, have you gone with any depression or anxiety which affected your career? I mean, on your films?
As I said, I have been through my ups and downs. I have experienced depression. I have experienced confusion, as we all do. It's a very normal thing, and we should be very casual about it when we speak about it. It should be spoken about casually.
I completely agree with that. I think we all go through our phases of ups and downs. I think we all go through days when we feel depressed. We go through phases, we go through months when we feel depressed. We feel low for no rhyme or reason. You don't understand what's happening to you. You know that you're not able to rationalize at that point in time. And like he's saying, it's just something very normal. Like you may have a headache and you're trying to sort of work through it. Similarly, you may have days where you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious. You wake up feeling anxious sometimes, and I think we all go through it. We all have our bad days.
Sorry?
Why societal rates are more in rich countries like America and all?
I don't think it's about this country particularly. I think suicide rates are getting higher and higher world over. And I think that's because of two things. One is, I guess, stress around the world in the workplace or for children in the schools and the educational systems. But at the same time, I feel also there's more awareness, right? There's so many more people out there who are more aware. So again, to reiterate that if you have chest pains, you would not think twice and you'll go seek help and you'll perhaps consult your cardiologist, right? So in the same way, what we're trying to say is when you're feeling something and you're not sure what you're feeling, it could be feeling just low, feeling anxious, feeling not too good from within in your thoughts or your mind, you need to seek help. So it's not just about India, but I think world over there is more awareness, and the most important thing is prevention. Because the earlier you intervene, the earlier you start treatment, and the earlier you diagnose a medical condition, and a mental health condition, the far better the prognosis and the outcome.
Thank you, Dr. Marker.
Which is why we chose to focus on youth and the young adult and adolescents. Because the earlier you catch it, earlier you catch the illness, the prognosis is much better. You're able to deal with it much better.
Thank you, Mrs. Birla.
Hi, Hrithik. Here. See, I can't stand because there's cameras behind. Cool. So Hrithik, being a dancing session afterwards, after that, you are a heartthrob. You are a star who always comes up and stands to support any of the noble cause with a purpose. So when you this time supporting this cause, can we say that hashtag Everyday Heroes is a sneak peek to the upcoming project you are associated with? Because every time we have been watching you, whenever you just, whenever any of the movies comes up, you are so intense with your characters that.
No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with that. This, as my films are a manifestation of my experiences and my life journey, so is this. This is a manifestation, this is an association because of where I'm coming from through my experiences and my journeys.
Thank you, Hrithik. Thank you, members of the media, for your questions. And let's remember that all of us can be an everyday hero. Let's hashtag stamp out stigma. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been amazing having all of you here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.